Business and Economic Neighborhood Development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development, it's a black woman. Infrastructure, deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. Our people hire our people.
A few moments later.
The Justice Department citing that exact moment in this letter to Mayor Johnson today, saying if these kind of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions.
Now, as a lawyer, there are certain things that I think are just so obvious that I don't have to tell you. Like, hiring people based solely on the color of their skin is illegal. It's illegal at the federal level. It's illegal at the state level. It's illegal at the city level. It's just wholeheartedly illegal, no matter how you cut it. So if I'm hiring you just because you're white, that's illegal. If I'm hiring you just because you're black, that's also illegal. Now, you may be asking, why am I telling you this? This is something that's obvious. The video could be over right now. But the mayor of Chicago has said that he actually hires people based off the color of their skin. Check it out.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? This is how we are. And so Business and Economic Neighborhood Development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure, deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief Operations Officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man. And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business? Having people in my administration that will look out for the interest of everyone, and everyone means you have to look out for the interests of black folks.
Now, I want to challenge you people out there to go back and to play that segment again, but every time he says black, you say white, and see how that comes off. If that doesn't come off as a little racist, let me show you.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, you know, the only thing that the mayor talks about
is the hiring of white people.
No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? This is how we are. And so Business and Economic Neighborhood Development, the deputy mayor
is a white man.
Department of Planning and Development
is a white man.
Infrastructure, deputy mayor
is a white man.
Chief Operations Officer
is a white man.
Budget director
is a white man.
Senior advisor
is a white man.
And I'm laying that out because when you ask, how do we ensure that our people get a chance to grow their business? Having people in my administration that will look out for the interest of everyone, and everyone means you have to look out for the interests of
white folks. Now, obviously, what he's saying there could be taken to be incredibly racist if he was saying it as a white man, saying it about white people. And even think about what he's saying now. He's essentially overgeneralizing. All black people are this type of way. And I'm hiring black people in these positions because they're essentially a monolith. They're all going to act the same way. Now, I would say if I was a white person going for one of those positions, I think you can claim that you have a legitimate beef, right? I didn't have a chance because he didn't say that, hey, I'm looking for the best person. He essentially is only looking for the best black person to fit into this narrow description of this overgeneralization of black people. Now, let's call a spade a spade. Black people have suffered at the hands of white people in this particular country, but that doesn't mean this is what's going on today. And I think acknowledging that we went from slavery to the civil rights era to the first black president, and to me that means something. But at the same time, I don't think the answer to fight discrimination is more discrimination. We literally live in a world where you can only say certain words if you're of a certain race. Like, let's just call it what it is, the N-word. I can say it as much as I want. I can say it pretty much anywhere I want. Matter of fact, I could even say it in this video and there won't be any backlash. Why? Because I happen to be black. But if you happen to be white, matter of fact, if you happen to be Hispanic, ask J-Lo.
I'm Real.
Yeah.
Contains a word in the remix, and I understand it's going to be on the CD soon, the N-word. Pardon me for saying it. You've upset an awful lot of people. Tell me what your thoughts are on that.
You know, for anyone to think or suggest or say that I'm racist is really absurd and hurtful to me. You know, the use of the word in the song, which was actually written by Ja Rule, was never meant to be hurtful in any way.
That word is not available to you without any type of repercussions. Now, the nuance in the law is important. You may be shocked, but Brandon Johnson appointing all of those people to those high-level positions that just happen to be black, that doesn't actually violate the law. Here is Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Under definitions, it says the term employee shall not include any person elected to public office in any state or political subdivision of any state by the qualified voters. That's Mayor Johnson. Or any person chosen by such officer, Mayor Johnson, to be on such officer's personal staff or an appointee on the policy-making level. So that was a complicated way of me saying that Mayor Johnson's political appointments cannot violate the civil rights law because they're exempt from the law. So if an all-black mayor appoints all black people or an all-white mayor appoints all white people, it doesn't matter because it wouldn't be a violation of the Civil Rights Act. So now, you may just be asking, so why is the Department of Justice opening an investigation into their hiring practices if their hiring practices don't violate the law? Well, the Justice Department thinks they do. And the reason why they think it might violate the law is because even though Mayor Johnson can hire all of the black people at the top levels of administration, he can't do that for all jobs. For instance, the assistants, the accountants, the police officers, everyone other than those top appointed officials. So when Mayor Johnson says our people, black people, hire our people, black people, that makes it seem like he's being racist toward other people. And this is the quote that the Department of Justice is really concerned about. Listen to what Mayor Johnson says.
Our people hire our people. And so one of the ways in which we're ensuring, let me back up for a second. So when we say our people hire our people, I just want to name this. 2 administrations ago, 70 to 75% of the administration was primarily made up of white and white men. In my administration, 45% of my administration is black, 25% is Latina, 30% is white, 8% is Asian.
So Mayor Johnson said, hey, I appointed all of these people who happen to be black in these positions. The black people hire black people, and you can see that by the numbers of black people who now work for the city. Before it was majority white. Now it's majority black, Hispanic, and everything else but white. We've been systematically not hiring white people. That's essentially what he's saying. And that makes the city more diverse. And he's saying that his hiring practices, again, this is my interpretation of it, he's saying that his hiring practices are based on race. So the Justice Department said, hey, we think this is a civil rights violation. If you're only hiring people based on the color of their skin and you're not hiring people based on the color of their skin.
Our people hire our people. And so one of the ways in which we're ensuring, let me back up for a second. So when we say our people hire our people, I just want to name this. 2 administrations ago, 70 to 75% of the administration was primarily made up of white and white men. In my administration, 45% of my administration is black, 25% is Latina, 30% is white, 8% is Asian.
The Justice Department citing that exact moment in this letter to Mayor Johnson today, saying if these kind of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act prevents employment discrimination.
Now, Mayor Johnson did respond to the Department of Justice's probe into his hiring practices.
Today, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson defended his hiring practices. He appeared unswayed by a DOJ investigation that looks into if his office violated any laws against discrimination. NBC5's Jen Shans shows us the new reaction from the mayor.
This is a quintessential example of the type of divisiveness that this president wants us to have.
Given the criticism, is there anything in your rhetoric that you would change in hindsight?
The question was a specific question that was asked about black contracts in particular.
So my opinion is that I think it's obvious. The mayor's obviously hiring people based on the color of their skin and not the content of their character.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
So now, is the mayor of Chicago judging people by the content of their character or by the color of their skin? It seems to be an open question. So we'll see what the investigation proves. But right now, I don't think it's looking too good for the mayor. But as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the great YouTube stuff. Tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section, because don't get me wrong, I do understand black people in this country were oppressed for so many years. But I'm one of those few people, it seems like, who do not think that you stop discrimination and racism by employing discrimination and racism. Maybe I'm just some lunatic on the internet. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.